That can't be a polar bear.
It's a polar bear.
Wait a minute. Polar bears don't usually live in the jungle.
Spot on.
All that writing, effort, and time, yet these small screen stories didn't seem to make a lick of sense.
Now let us welcome our new Principal Skinner, Principal Seymour Skinner. Him.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest TV plot holes.
These things never go down good. When a system wants you, they get you, one way or another.
For this list, we're ranking some of the biggest unanswered questions and plot holes that have broken the neatly interwoven story chains found on television.
We gotta stop that pig.
Yeah, but how? That thing just swallowed our weapons?
Hey, wait a minute. Do you guys see what I see?
These holes don't necessarily make the show bad, but they have to be big enough to land an impact.
More than enough time for me to find Jakia's friend.
Number 10. Warp 10 Irregularities, the Star Trek franchise.
Warp 9.2. 9.3. My vector's drifting.
Try to stabilize your field symmetry.
Got it.
One thing the Star Trek series writers could just never agree on was what happens when you go past Warp 10. In a few episodes of the original 1966 series and Star Trek The Next Generation, the Enterprise zipped around at Warp 10 and beyond on more than one occasion.
Warp 10, Mr. Scott. Impossible. It can't go that fast. You just won't stop, Mr. Scott. Warp 11.
The result? Well, the ship just went a lot faster. This all gets kicked in the head, however, when in the Star Trek Voyager episode Threshold, the writers seem to have forgotten about the existing canon, and Tom Paris achieves Warp 10 in a shuttlecraft and becomes, according to the Voyager crew, the first human to ever have done so.
8. 9. Warp 10.
You've crossed the threshold. You've done it.
They discover that Warp 10 is so fast that Paris simultaneously exists in every point in the universe at once, and has his DNA mutated.
His body is going through some sort of mutation. His DNA is rewriting itself.
That's funny, considering that no one on the Enterprise ships was affected, and actually seemed A-OK after going Warp 10 and beyond.
The onboard sensors confirm that you did it. You made it to Warp 10.
Congratulations, Mr. Paris. You just made the history books.
Number 9. Incorrect healing, heroes.
Prove it!
Claire Bennett is certainly one of the luckier teenage cheerleaders out there, with her more than impressive ability of regenerative health.
Take a look at that hand.
The pain went away, but I think it's still kind of...
That's healed really nicely.
We've seen her walk through fire and nuclear blasts on many occasions, but she didn't even know she had this ability until she entered high school.
There's no burns.
Yet, when her biological mother reveals that she believed Claire died in a house fire as a baby, heroes tried to use her regenerative healing as a means of explaining how she survived.
Isn't that a miracle, Mom?
You were dead. Anytime someone rises from the dead, I'd say that's a miracle.
The problem is that this completely negates the previous storyline that said she actually developed her powers when she was a teenager. Number 8. Bellick's innocent, Prison Break.
I had nothing to do with Gary's death. You hear what I'm saying? I'm the victim here, not that son of a bitch.
The saying goes, innocent until proven guilty, unless the evidence is completely made up for the purpose of the plot, right? Halfway through season 2 of Prison Break, the former captain of Fox River is unable to prove his innocence in the murder of Roy Geary, when he's framed by Teabag with the use of a particularly threatening voicemail.
You thieving son of a bitch, you better get down on your knees and pray to God that I don't find you. Because if I do, mark my words, I'm gonna gut you about a stern.
However, even fans could have realized that Bellick was actually in the hospital at that date and time, and so he should have been proven innocent.
You want to hear it again?
At this juncture, Brad, things go a whole lot easier for you if you admit to the crime.
Either this is a huge plot hole, or the Fox River State Police aren't very good at their jobs.
Bradley Bellick, you are under arrest for the first-degree murder of Roy William Gere. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law.
Number 7. How does teleporting work? Doctor Who.
Here, what are you doing?
Teleporting is a very powerful ability, so let's only use it when it suits the plot, alright? Don't get us wrong, we're not letting those artificial humans who are so infected they can't run and yet they can somehow climb from New Earth off scot-free either.
Sir, stop him! Put your hands in the air.
But for this entry, we're going with Lupton's capturing of the blue crystal and his immense power to teleport himself.
Panda 3 to control. I've just spotted a silver hovercraft being chased by an old croc at 90 miles an hour, and there's a little tiny helicopter after them both.
After much diligence into the investigation, the Doctor pursues Lupton in a multi-vehicle chase, and yet we find out at the end of it that Lupton could have just teleported away from it at any point. So the obvious question here is, why didn't he just do that? This mishap is remembered by fans as truly one of the more simple moments in a usually clever series.
Doctor! He's got away!
Number 6. Absent students, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Come in, Zordon.
Power Rangers, I need you at the command center immediately.
We're on our way.
Secret identities are always awesome on TV, especially when they're so well hidden. But here, it really isn't. In Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the world is consistently ravaged and destroyed, with only a group of teenagers with attitude to defend it. What's strange is that no one seems to notice the 6 empty chairs at Angel Grove High School every time the world needs saving.
5 superheroes saved the park from this zombie guy. And they call themselves the Power Rangers.
We could apply this type of question to many other TV shows that have teenage superheroes, but as nearly every attack on this live-action children's series takes place during school hours, we just can't ignore a world where something like this would simply be ignored.
Hey, guys!
It appears my communicator's malfunctioned.
Number 5. Ross's first time, Friends.
My first time with Carol was my first time.
What?
It was my first time.
The love life of New York's favorite awkward roommate has always been under scrutiny, probably because he can't get it straight himself.
What if we were to tie each other up?
As most know, Ross's former wife Carol came out as a lesbian and instigated their divorce.
What is it? That she left you? That she likes women? That she left you for another woman that likes women?
A little louder, okay? I think there's a man on the 12th floor in a coma who didn't quite hear you.
After which, the newly found Singleton admits to his friends that she took not only his possessions, but also his virginity.
With Carol?
Oh.
Or at least, that's the story Ross keeps up for years, until a certain back and forth in Season 7 realigns the audience's view on his sexual history.
Oh, in college, Chandler got drunk and slept with the lady who cleaned our dorm.
That was you.
So, which was it? A sexually adventurous cleaning lady or your lesbian ex-wife? Only one can be your first time.
And in my defense, the cleaning lady came on to me.
Number 4. Angel's Hellish Return, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This particular vampire certainly has some shifty powers. Despite Spike and his gang being able to break through 6 feet of steel, Angel can't cut through a thin wire door. And yet he is able to return from hell without warning or explanation. Surviving Satan himself to return to the living world is not an easy task, and especially not something to just gloss over. So excuse us while this obvious plot hole is completely glossed over by the show's writers and producers. We can't even imagine how stunned and confused fans must have been at this shocking moment. Number Number 3, Bye-Bye, Judy. Family Matters.
So Grandma, are you going to be a June bride?
Not exactly, honey. We'd like to get hitched sooner than that.
How much sooner?
In 2 weeks.
So, after a heartfelt wedding episode, you tune in next week to see... Wait, weren't there more Winslow family members? Halfway through the season 4 run of the hit sitcom, show creator William Bickley decided to cut out the Winslows' 9-year-old daughter Judy due to budget constraints. However, crazier still is that no explanation was given for her obvious disappearance, and that the characters would have no memory of her or talk about her ever again.
Hey, Harry, put down those coupons. Eddie and Laura finally gave me that language tape they've been promising us.
Ooh, great, we're gonna be a bilingual family.
In its own universe, this plot hole is just as creepy as it is big.
Magic clue inside these gentle walls.
Number 2, Principal Skinner's past, The Simpsons.
I'm an imposter. That man is the real Seymour Skinner.
Let's talk about Armin Tamzarian, a man you know best as Principal Seymour Skinner. The Springfield Elementary disciplinarian has a gritty past dating from the Vietnam War. Not that you'd hear about it today on the show, or even from the writers.
Don't worry, they'll forget. Just like they forgot about me in that tiger cage for 18 agonizing months.
Mr. Tamzarian was fighting in Nam alongside the real Seymour Skinner, whom he believed had died in combat.
It's true. I was in his platoon. But they said you were killed on that scouting mission.
No, just captured.
So Tamzarian did the logical thing and took over his life and identity. Unfortunately, things get weird when the real Skinner shows up in Springfield at the beginning of season 9.
I have never been happier or prouder to be Seymour Skinner.
You're not Seymour Skinner.
Skinner?
Skinner? I'm Skinner.
But ultimately, the town decides they're happier with the imposter and banish the real Skinner from Springfield forever, along with any mention of the incident or the name Armin Tamzarian.
But I'm a hero!
And we salute you for it. Now don't come back.
This change to Skinner's backstory, after years of investment, garnered controversy and criticism everywhere. So perhaps the resulting silence on the topic is understandable.
And I further decree that everything will be just like it was before all this happened, and no one will ever mention it again, under penalty of torture.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case dishonorable, mentions.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Harrison. I just wanted to tell you one last time that I love you.
I love you too.
I want you to remember that every single day until I see you again. Daddy loves you.
Okay. Bye.
Professor, we're gonna miss the window!
Hurry, my boy!
Oh, he's coming along nicely. What happened? The amnesia case, sir. Carl, he's jumped out of the window. He's dead.
Number 1. The entire series, Lost.
I don't really know where to start. How about with why you brought us to the island?
What was once a gripping, mysterious, and complex series became a befuddled, confusing mess. How the mighty did fall.
I didn't pluck any of you out of a happy existence. You were all flawed.
The holes of Lost are so big, we could fit every WatchMojo video plus a misplaced polar bear inside them.
Guys, this isn't just a bear. It's a polar bear.
Why do only certain characters get transported back to 1977? What was the loophole that killed Jacob?
Well.
Why is the island underwater at the start of season 6? All these questions and more were left completely unanswered in one of the biggest teases ever to hit television. Do you agree with our list?
Oh, this is not that bad.
Which plot holes left you scratching your head?
Let's concentrate on how this anomaly was initially formed. Speculation.
For more mind-bending top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
And now that you know how it's done, don't do it.